Hey everyone, I'm Angela Allen. Welcome back to the Handmade Homestead. This is what we're processing today for day 14 of the Every Bit Counts challenge that we're in the middle of. This is a cucuzza gourd or cucuzza squash. It's a Sicilian vegetable. It's been around for a very long time. They can grow up to 3-4 inches a day. The vine itself can grow up to a foot a day. They're extremely long, maybe 100 feet, 60 feet long, depends on how you grow them. Mine are trellis. I'll put some footage in about that, but yeah, this is what we're processing today for day 14. Let's go. We are headed right down there at the end of this row to that big trellis. So this trellis has both cucuzza squash on this side and tromboncino squash on this side, and they're going all the way over. Now cucuzza squash is actually a gourd, and they grow in a long, skinny direction. Here's an immature one. You can see how small that is. But these little buggers, the vine can grow a foot a day, and the squash can grow several inches a day. Again, they're a gourd. This is a tromboncino squash. They also got extremely long. You can eat these like zucchini, or you can let them mature. The skin will get dark like a butternut squash, and then eat them like a butternut squash. It tastes very much like a butternut squash. I have a bunch of these on here. I prefer these for a winter squash, so that's what we're letting them do. But we are here for tromboncino. If I go inside this trellis, you can see inside the trellis right here, this is what we're after. This is a cucuzza squash. And if I back up enough, you might be able to see my hand and how. This is about 3 feet long. The skin is still soft enough to eat as a kind of zucchini substitute. Down here you can see that curly tromboncino squash. There's a lot of tromboncino squash in here. But we are after this. We're gonna process this for the freezer so that we can have something zucchini-like all winter long. I'm gonna cut it off. They are fragile, they do break easily, so I'm gonna take 2 hands for this. I'll be with you in a minute. So I've put my scissors down next to that cucuzza squash so you can see just how big it is. At this stage you can eat it like a zucchini. Shouldn't be too tough, shouldn't have too many seeds. We just have to wash it, chop it, and I'm not even going to blanch it. It's going to go right into freezer bags. Cucuzza squash and tromboncino, like that really long squash right there, you can see that. If you take them when they're young, cut them up, dice them up, put them in your freezer, you can pull them out and eat them like zucchini. They don't get that rubbery texture and flavor that regular zucchini can get. Tromboncino is my favorite, and cucuzza, though I like it, really takes over the garden. The plants get so long. At one point, this plant had sent out runners all the way up and was covering all of these fruit trees all the way over. I had to remove the runners. They were so long. All right, so let's get this cucuzza inside and get it prepped for the freezer. So it turns out I didn't actually freeze this. I cut the larger end, cleaned the seeds out, and I'm gonna stuff those for dinner tonight with a meat filling. I did take the long neck of it, dice it up really small, and I put it on the dehydrator to dehydrate it. I always keep a big bottle of mixed vegetables right next to my stove so I can throw a handful in soup or in homemade dog food or in casseroles whenever I just want to grab vegetables without going through defrosting anything. So that's what I did after washing and cutting it, taking out seeds just from the bigger pieces at the bottom. I diced it up finely, put it on the dehydrator. It's going to take a couple of days to dehydrate, but that's okay. It'll go right in my soup bottle to be used all winter long. And I'll keep doing this with the cucuzza as they get old enough to use or big enough to use, and I will put them in the freezer or dehydrate them for long-term storage use. They're actually a pantry staple in my house because I still have zucchini in the garden, and I do have immature tromboncino squash as well to use for that zucchini purpose. That wraps up my day 14 for the Every Bit Counts challenge. Tomorrow is halfway through the month, day 15, and I can't wait to get started. I'll see you tomorrow. The Handmade Homestead can be found on TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, and we look forward to seeing you there. Remember to like and subscribe. It helps so much, and we appreciate your time.